elves destroyed themselves before my countrymen came along. Could that be true? I can hardly believe it.
They left someone behind. A handy guide, maybe?
Mytholanast.
That's helpful, since Morrigan chased off on her own.
She's worried about this well, not Corypheus. Could the elves pour such devotion into this nonsense? Andraste, guide us.
How has such magic lasted?
Fight on! An army of these bastards won't stop us! How will you get to the well, General?
You tough bastards. A day's march, hours of fighting, and still fierce as dragons. The Chantry never knew what it was throwing away.
Samson, sir, watch out!
Inquisitor. You and those elf things don't know when to stop. You've hunted us half across Thedas. I should have guessed you'd follow us into this hole.
Your reserves are gone, so is the lyrium. Isn't it time to stand down?
To enjoy the mercy you showed our brothers and sisters? No thanks. Corypheus chose me twice. First as his general, now as the vessel for the Well of Sorrows. You know what's inside the well? Wisdom. The kind of wisdom that can scour a world. I give it to Corypheus, that he can walk into the Fade without your precious anchor.
What's your part in it? What's a vessel?
What else empties a well? I'll carry its power to Corypheus. One more task entrusted to me. Being force-fed Chantry lyrium was good for something. This armor makes me a living fortress, mind and body. I won't forget a word of the well's knowledge. Corypheus will be unstoppable.
Corypheus already caused one disaster. Help him now, and he'll rip the world apart.
I'm helping him reshape it. He's had centuries to make ready. You're no match for Corypheus. Even if you drink from the well, you'll never master its wisdom as he could. This is the strength the Chantry tried to bind. But it's a new world now, with a new god. So, Inquisitor, how will this go?
Power's all well and good, until it's taken away.
What did you do? What did you do? My armor. It's gone. The lyrium. I need it! Kill them all! Well, French. You can't take it from Corypheus. You mustn't.
He's still breathing.
We can take him back to Skyhold for judgment.
You heard his parting words, Inquisitor. The elf seeks to destroy the Well of Sorrows.
So the sanctum is despoiled at last.
You would have destroyed the well yourself, given the chance.
To keep it from your grasping fingers. Better it be lost than bestowed upon the undeserving.
Fool. You'd let your people's legacy rot in the shadows.
Enough.
You cannot honestly...
I said enough.
The well clearly offers power, Inquisitor. If that power can be turned against Corypheus, can you afford not to use it?
Do you even know what you ask? As each servant of Mythal reached the end of their years, they would pass their knowledge on through this. All that we were, all that we knew, it would be lost forever.
This can't be easy, holding on to what's left.
You cannot imagine. Each time we awaken, it slips further from our grasp.
Why remain? Why perform a duty without purpose?
You have shown respect to Mythal, and there is a righteousness in you I cannot deny. Is that your desire? To partake of the Vira Belasan as best you can? To fight your enemy?
Not without your permission.
One does not obtain permission. One obtains the right. The Vira Belasan may be too much for a mortal to comprehend. Brave it if you must. But know you this. You shall be bound forever to the will of Mythal.
Bound to a goddess who no longer exists, if she ever did.
Bound as we are bound. The choice is yours.
Is it possible this Mythal might still exist?
Anything is possible.
Elven legend states that Mythal was tricked by Fen'Harel and banished to the Beyond.
Elven legend is wrong. The Dread Wolf had nothing to do with her murder.
Murder? I said nothing of...
She was slain, if a god truly can be. Betrayed by those who destroyed this temple. Yet the Vira Belasan remains. As do we. That is something.
Are you leaving the temple?
Our duty ends. Why remain?
The Imperium went to great lengths to expunge Elven history. You might be the last to know the truth.
Would the elves of your lands listen to the truth?
They might. Would it hurt to try?
It very well may, Shemlin. Yes. It may be that only Uthenera awaits us. The blissful sleep of eternity, never to awaken, if fate is kind.
Thank you for this gift, Abelas.
Do not thank me yet, Shemlin.
You'll note the intact Illuvian. I was correct on that count, at least.
Is it still a threat? Can Corypheus use it to travel the Fade?
You recall when I took you through my Illuvian, I said each required a key? The well is the key. Take its power, and Mythal's last Illuvian will be no more use to Corypheus than glass. I did not expect the well to feel so... hungry.
Let's not be reckless. I don't want anyone hurt.
I am willing to pay the price the well demands. I am also the best suited to use its knowledge in your service.
I do not like this. She is far too eager.
I do not hide it. To restore lost knowledge, I would risk much.
And what would you do with it? You could be worse than Corypheus.
So, paralyze yourself for fear of what might be? I can give nothing but my word. Of those present, I alone have the training to make use of this. Let me drink, Inquisitor.
You alone? You're not the only mage here.
I have studied the oldest lore. I have delved into mysteries of which you could only dream. Can you honestly tell me there is anyone better suited?
I would be.
You lead the Inquisition. This is not a risk you can take. I have the best chance of making use of the well for everyone. Let me drink.
You're not concerned about the price. Bound forever to the will of Mythal.
Bound to the will of a dead god? It seems an empty warning. Perhaps a compulsion yet remains. Who can say otherwise? I do not fear it, even so.
Are you sure you want this, Morrigan? We don't know what will happen.
We do not, and yet it must be done. I am ready.
Looking at it, listening to it. That's not just knowledge from the ancient elven priests. It's their will.
How would you know such a thing?
That's what Abelas was telling us. The collective will of the priests puts anyone who drinks under a compulsion, a gas. Can't you feel it?
That would match the legends, but it does not tell us what the gas entails. I would still use the well, but you are right. We must be cautious.
Thoughts?
If it is truly between you and her, then let her take the risk. Make her help us all.
You're asking me? This is a lot of weird... I barely understand how any of this works.
I don't want to risk losing you to a well.
Enough deliberation. Give me your decision.
It's yours. Morrigan? Are you all right?
Elasin Salah. Visan Allah. I am intact. There is much to sift through. But now we can...
Through the mirror.
It is done.
I'm pleased to report we won the battle, Inquisitor. When you went through that mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field. I'm not sure why.
What he wanted was no longer within the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't have helped his forces by that point.
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength before he attacks again.
He will not hide.
And I won't hide from him.
He knows this, and will act accordingly.
And how could you have such insight into his plans?
The Well of Sorrows held many voices, and they speak to me now from across the ages. They hold wisdom. Secrets I never dreamed possible. But even they fear what Corypheus has become.
We defeated his army and elven magic killed him at the temple. He's not invincible.
Not invincible, but incredibly powerful and immortal. Yet, there is a way. The dragon he calls is not truly an archdemon. It is a dragon in which Corypheus has infested part of his being. He doubtless did so out of pride to emulate the gods of old. That pride can be exploited. Kill the dragon, and his ability to leap into other bodies is disrupted. He can be slain.
Corypheus won't just stand by and let us kill his dragon.
Of course not. Yet you must do it, even so. There is a way to defeat the dragon, to match Corypheus in his power. The well whispers it to me now. Your help will be required, Inquisitor. Speak to me when you are ready, and we shall begin.
I'll see to Skyhold's defenses in the meantime.
It comes swiftly, this moment that would be spoken of for ages. The day the Herald of Andraste challenged the Darkspawn that thought itself a god. Defeat him, and you'll be more than a holy man to the people. You'll enter legend.
I was marked for a purpose. The Maker wants everyone to know I've fulfilled it.
And there is the fire we follow. People joined the Inquisition after hearing you were blessed, but they've stayed because of how you lead. I wanted to tell you that I shared their sentiments, Inquisitor, and... well, I suppose I just did.
You've always been there for us, Josephine. And for me.
It means much to hear you say that. Farewell, my lord. When you face Corypheus, may you walk in the light.
So, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this. We went to an elven rune, so a witch could consume a pool of magical goo and then walked through a mirror, and wound up back here. Have I mentioned that the shit that happens to you is crazy? I don't want to think about this anymore. You want to discuss something normal?
The Temple of Mythal sounds truly astounding. I would have liked to have seen it. What will you do with the power of the well once Corypheus is dead?
I'm not arrogant enough to think it's my decision alone. Whatever happens, we'll do it together.
You think to share your power, to avoid the temptation to misuse it. A noble sentiment, but ultimately a mistake.
Why?
Because while one selfless man may walk away from the lure of power's corruption, no group has ever done so.
I trust my friends.
I know that mistake well enough to carve the angles of her face from memory.
Why is this so important to you?
You have not been what I expected, Inquisitor. You have impressed me. You must not let false modesty allow you to pass your power to someone else. There are few regrets sharper than watching fools squander what you sacrifice to achieve. Forgive my melancholy. Corypheus has cost us much. The Temple of Mythal did not deserve such a fate. The orb he carries, and its stolen power, that at least we may still recover. With luck, some of the past may yet survive.
You planning to leave before we take down the bad guy?
No, but there may not be a later. It seemed wise to say my goodbyes now.
Though all before me is shadow, yet shall the Maker be my guide. I shall not be left to wander the drifting roads of the beyond. For there is no darkness in the Maker's light, and nothing that he has wrought shall be lost.
A prayer for you.
For those we have lost, and those I am afraid to lose.
I'm glad you haven't lost your faith.
I've questioned it at times, but I found comfort in faith when life offered little. Corypheus will retaliate, It's only a matter of time. We must draw strength wherever we can.
From moments like this, perhaps.
There are fewer of those lately.
There's time now.
What happened at the Elven Temple? It's got me thinking. I should go back, shouldn't I? To Tevinter. Once this is done. If we're still alive. All my talk of how terribly wrong things are back home. But what do I do about it? Nothing.
How does this relate to the Elven Temple?
That elf, Abelas. He said the Imperium wasn't what destroyed the elves. My people would never accept that. It would reduce us to scavengers, destroy our legacy no matter how terrible. But we should accept it. Take our history down a peg. Confront the legacy hanging over us like a shroud. Maybe not all of us want to, but that could be altered. If you can change minds, so can I.
You would just leave. What about
us? Trust me, Amatus. It would give me no pleasure to leave your side. You make monumental decisions affecting the entire world. How can I not consider some of my own?
But I need you at my side. Now more than ever.
Emotional blackmail is a fine thing to pull out of your arsenal.
But I didn't...
I'm joking. I'll think about it. Closely. This is your fault, remember? You inspired me with your marvelous antics. You're shaping the world, for good or ill. How could I aspire to do any less? If it means proving that Tevinter can be better, that there's hope even for my homeland, I would do anything.
I was pondering who might be divine, and it suddenly occurred to me. Is it so ridiculous for the Grand Clerics to support me? Why shouldn't they?
If you were divine, what would you do?
Change things. Change everything. Your support of the Mage Rebellion was a good start. We must build on this. No more circles. The mages will be free. The Chantry will accept them as the Maker's children. In fact, it will accept everyone. Elves, dwarves, even Canary. Why exclude them? The Chantry allows our differences to tear us apart, instead of teaching us how we are the same.
I think you would make a good divine.
I am glad to hear it. Your support may persuade the Grand Clerics to vote in my favor. The Chantry was a beacon of hope to me once, you know. In my years at Lothering's Chantry, we turned no one away from our doors. It was a refuge, a place of peace. I felt the Maker's presence and his love even when they told me he'd left us. This is the Chantry I know, the Chantry I wish the world to see.
The world could certainly use the force for good you describe.
Yes, the Chantry should be a force for good instead of what it is. The Chantry dictated where it should have inspired. It spoke of judgment instead of acceptance. It should encourage the good in everyone, rather than rebuke us for our sins. No one should be turned away from our doors. No one is without worth. Whoever you are, whatever your mistakes, you are loved unconditionally. In your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame.
Corypheus is able to possess Grey Wardens, or so I hear. Perhaps it's a good thing I'm not a real warden.
It's a blessing. Warden or not, I'd hate to be on the other side of your blade.
Going up against a Darkspawn, and the last thing you want is a Grey Warden. Funny how these things happen.
So to kill Corypheus, all we have to do is kill his dragon first? That's easy. We're good at killing shit. Just one more big fight to put this Magister asshole down for good. I knew you'd get us here, boss.
It's been an honor, Bull.
Oh, don't get like that. This isn't goodbye. We're kicking this guy's ass.
I'm sorry. Oh wait, no, I'm not. It's just the funniest, isn't it? That creaky old Abelas in Mythal saying the elves weren't destroyed by Tevinter.
That's some long dead you're gloating over.
About time I got mine back. Elvie elves have shoved victim in my face 1,000,000 times. Like being sad makes them better than me. Turns out they're not victims. They're the same as everyone else. Arseholes. Plus, a big old temple full of demon-worshipping lies. Grand, that.
You seem pretty certain. You don't believe anything from Mythal.
Course not. What, I should believe all that stuff? Because elves? I mean, it was impressive and all. Makes the Dalish look like tits for living in the woods, but so what? There can't be a bunch of gods and the Maker. Don't matter how much or little you believe, those don't fit. So call me stupid, but I believe the stuff not made up by dead people who failed. Mythal is a ruin full of demons. I mean, it just makes sense, right?
There's so much history there. What if some of it is true?
No, now you're stupid. You can't think that because it's stupid.
But everything we saw...
Why believe it? Because Abelas looked weird? If that's all it takes, Cariffi's shitheel is full of lumpy truth. You're not even an elf. Why are you being so damned elfy? You're the frigging herald of Andraste. Every time you open your mouth, you'll sound like an idiot.
Well, it works for you, so I'm in good company.
Words are dumb. Haven't had an argument yet I can't end with arrows. Let me know when you want me to discuss it with Cariffi shit.
So it's done?
Just about. The little ones in the camps don't have much. I thought this might cheer them up. Even in the midst of war, they deserve to be children.
It's almost time. Are you ready?
I am. I've been ready for a long time. Things become clear on the battlefield. It's where I truly know myself. Everything else fades.
Shouldn't you at least pretend to be afraid of Corypheus? He is an ancient Magister Darkspawn with untold power.
There is fear, but also exhilaration. There has always been one constant. I am a soldier. I am trained to kill, to follow orders, and to ask no questions. But this time, I'm fighting for something I believe in. The people I care about. I chose to stay with the Inquisition. I chose this fight. And the difference is profound. I have only you to thank.
Victory in the Arbor Wilds. The archdemon might have been a real threat to our army, but it flew off once we turned the tide. It is still out there, however. I wonder what Corypheus plans now.
We'll deal with whatever he throws at us.
Do not underestimate Corypheus. He is powerful, and you have yet to fight him one-on-one. But he will come. You will get your chance.
If he tries, he'll regret it.
I believe you. Not long ago, this was impossible to imagine. You, a valued friend, victory close at hand. The time has come to consider what will come next.
We still have to beat Corypheus.
I have not forgotten. Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked and do not falter. You have come far, my friend. It has been an honor.
Samson took everything from those Templars. He corrupted their souls, twisted them into everything they stood against, everything they would have hated.
I know the Red Templars fight for Corypheus, but I feel sorry for them.
They're barely human now. The Red Lyrium left Samson's mind unaltered. He knew what he was doing. And he dares speak as though it were a mercy? The man's a monster. I pray his information is useful. His life is good for little else.
Samson got what he deserved.
The men and women he betrayed, they deserved something better. Samson deserves nothing. The Red Templars needed to be torn down. We've broken Corypheus's army. I might have known some of them. If my life had gone differently, I might have been one of them. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you had not been at the Conclave? If you'd never become the Inquisitor?
I'd still be here. Well, maybe not here, but I'll be down in the barracks with the other volunteers. I couldn't just sit idle.
No, I don't imagine you could. I do not like having that mirror, Illuvian, in Skyhold. Corypheus may not be able to travel through it, but what if something else can?
I don't think Morrigan would keep it here if that were true.
Yes, Morrigan said as much when I asked her.
Oh?
She said I was unreasonable, then offered to explain how the Illuvian works using words with less than 4 syllables.
Ah.
The Circle had a library. I'm fairly well read.
Right.
I'm not unreasonable.
That's all for now.
Corypheus died, and then he didn't. That's why he always felt wrong, like he didn't fit inside himself. He wears another man's life. I thought dying was forever.
So did I. Corypheus seems to break a lot of rules.
But is it him? Is he real? If a man can be dead and then not, could I have saved the real Cole?
What happened to him wasn't your fault.
His hands were bruised from beating on the wall. It was dark, like the cabinet where he hid to escape his father. His belly hurt like knives, throat cracked dry. He was alone. I pushed through and held his hand. It was all I could do. He said, "Thank you." Thank you.
Forgive me, Inquisitor. For personal interest, I have relieved Josephine, as you might expect. Knight Templar Samson, general to Corypheus, traitor to the Order. The blood on his hands cannot be measured. His head is too valuable to take. Kirkwall, Orlais, many would see him suffer. I can't say I'm not one of them.
I can make him answer for what he's done.
The Red Lyrium will steal your vengeance. You know what it does. Corypheus only delayed my corruption.
Are you still loyal to that thing? He poisoned the Order, used them to kill thousands.
Templars have always been used. How many were left to rot like I was after the Chantry burned away their minds? Piss on it. I followed him so Templars could at least die at their best. Same lie as the Chantry. The profit just isn't as pretty.
I found your people. They believed in you. Believed your cause was righteous.
Not your business, Inquisitor.
Your friend Maddox was so loyal, he killed himself. For you.
They were always going to die. I saw what Corypheus was doing, So yes, I fed them hope instead of despair. I made them believe their pain had purpose, just like the Chantry does. Right, Commander? It ended as well as anything else I've done. Corypheus would kill me on sight. I'll tell your people what they want. Everything I cared about is destroyed.
Very well. Samson, you will spend your remaining years serving the Inquisition. Cullen will be your handler. Perhaps he can get something useful out of you.
I doubt the Commander believes there's anything worthy left in me.
You're not wrong, but you served something greater than yourself once. Perhaps you can be made to remember that.